Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 6, 2023 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Also, if you would like to check out my friend Eddie's tarot site, he's very, very good. His not tarot name, but his site name on YouTube is Eddie's Tarot. That will also be in the description box below. Now, with all that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy that we need to be mindful of during this Libra full moon. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Here we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so we cannot feel like working during this full moon, which sounds funny to say, Gemini. Like, that's why I laugh. I'm like, oh, okay, we can just not want to. Like, if you can take the 6th of April off, if the full moon falls on the 6th, it can fall also on the 5th, wherever you are. If you could take those days off, you might feel just absolutely fantastic doing so, because there's a sense of, I don't want to be detail oriented. I don't want to be getting into the nitty gritty of things. I don't want to be repeating things. So just be mindful of this. But this can also be a time, because we have this powerful Libra energy that comes in with balance. But what we also have is we have 4 planets in Aries during this time. We have the sun in Aries, and this is going to be a time of new beginnings, new starts, new adventures. We kind of don't want to be doing the old thing. This is also a tremendously healing and, health-oriented moon. So we might not want to be stuck inside, or we might not want to be stuck doing the same thing that we do every single day. We might want to make this a bit of an adventure for ourselves. And Gemini, we love adventures. We love a good place to go, a good meal, good people, that type of thing. That's going to be so important to us. And we can really find that utilizes this Libra energy of balance, of healing, of harmony for us during this time. So keep that in mind. Now let's see what Spirit wants us to be aware of. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And here we have spiritual reversed. We can feel out of harmony, okay? We could need a little bit of help getting back into harmony with spirit. Now, whether this is through meditation, going for walks outside, Qigong, which I personally love. I'll link Spring Forest Qigong down in the description box. There is just this need to balance ourselves. However we do it, however works for us, because we're losing track, or we're losing sight at times with the spiritual. And it can be because we're just so focused on the physical that we can lose track of the spiritual. But just remember that this full moon is all about staying in our peace. Staying in our peace, staying in our power with that peace. Because if we stay in our peace and then we utilize the Aries energy that is all around us of, of living in the present, of getting things done, of moving forward, of new beginnings, then we are going to be absolutely unstoppable. Now, this is the 7th and final full moon. So for 7 months, we have had full moons 16 degrees of their sign, meaning that this full moon is 16 degrees in Libra. And the 16th card in the tarot is, of course, the Tower. So things have been changing. We have been feeling this huge change. We can see it on a global level. We can see it on a personal level. Okay? So just be very aware of this during this time. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay. So what's very interesting here is that the Emperor card is reversed, and that's the Aries energy being reversed right now for us. So the Aries energy, that's where the sun energy is. Okay, the new beginnings, we can be very hesitant to start something new, or we can want to start everything new and be like, okay, now I'm just pushing forward. Everything's going to be new. We get overwhelmed. What does a Gemini do when they're overwhelmed? We flitz away to the next thing, or we just walk away from it and be like, okay, I'll get to that pile later. And we never get to it. We just make new ones. So be very aware of that during this time, that it can be very hard for us to utilize the new beginning energy. We need to finish things. That's going to be very important for us Geminis, because again, people describe us, if you read about Geminis, they always say flighty, and it's not flighty. We just know when something doesn't work, but we can also get easily distracted by the next thing to learn, the next thing to discover. So be very, very aware of that we can get very angry at ourselves because we're not finishing what we need to finish. Our stress levels can be really high because of that, and then we're really anti-us for a little bit. So just be aware. With the Three of Cups, the Three of Cups in the upright position, this is celebration. This is, this is going out with friends and family and just surrounding ourselves with people that we really love, that will raise their glass to us, that will celebrate us, that connect with us, and that we connect to. We're going to find that that's more and more important to us. It's not, it's not what everybody else is chasing. It's not what everybody else is doing. We don't want to keep up with the Kardashians or the Joneses or anything like that. What we want to do is we want to enjoy this life. And that's becoming more and more apparent. Gemini, depending on where you are in your life's journey, it's becoming more apparent as you get older. For some of us, there's a sense of, we got glimpses of it when we were younger, but as you get older, Gemini, you're going to get kinder to yourself. You're going to see what you want. You're going to see what you need. You're going to see what you're celebrating. You're going to see with whom you're spending your time with. And you're really going to start to stop saying, oh, it's me, but start saying, I need to surround myself with the energy that complements me, the energy that lifts me up, instead of thinking, oh, it's my fault, type of thing. So just be very aware of this. You're finding where you belong, and you'll belong to a bunch of different groups, a bunch of different places, but there'll be a core for you that's really quite important. And even if that's just checking in with your angels and your spirit guides and your ancestors and having that energy be really strong around you, that's not nothing. I mean, that really is quite something. It really is a powerful, healing, beautiful energy. And remember, this Libra full moon, all about healing. All about the healing. It's all about the health. It's all about surrounding ourselves with positive energy vibration and really seeing ourselves move forward. We could be having a really hard time. And I hate to say this, Libra. I hate to say this, Gemini, because the Libra energy is so strong with the healing and that's coming through so powerfully. But the Aries energy with 4 planets in Aries, with the sun in Aries, there's just this sense of this powerful energy to expand. I mean, Mars is out of bounds, astrologically until May, so that amplifies the Aries energy. And with that reverse, we can find that we're losing our tempers. Like some days we'll just wake up and there'll be shitty days, excuse my language, but they really will be. There'll be days where we're like, everybody bothers me, everything's annoying. Reversed Aries energy is a low energy vibration of Aries, which is war, which is anger, which is frustration, which is, chaos. And Gemini, that's not where we like to be at all. So be very mindful of this when this does happen. We need to step back and say, I need to heal. I need to heal. What's going on in the world that's knocking me off balance? Or, am I getting enough sleep? Am I taking care of myself? Where is my wisdom? Where is my desire here? Because Aries is also the sister sign to Libra, and Libra's the sister sign to Aries. So like any good sister pairing, they can either be the best of friends or the worst of enemies. So just be aware of this, that when Aries is about action and living in the moment, Libra is about balance and harmony and connecting with people and feeling, making sure everything's kind of like the warm, fuzzy, cozy feeling that you get when you're wrapped up in a nice warm blanket and you have a cup of tea with you. So there's parts of us here that want that energy, and there's parts of us here that want to break that glass on the floor, go and explore, go have what we want just when we want it and exactly how we want it. Be aware of this, because we're going to feel like the twin energy that we are, because we take everything on, in its duality, but we're going to take the Aries energy on, we're going to take the Libra energy on, and sometimes they'll war with themselves, just like our dual personality wars with ourselves at time. So be aware of this. Be aware that it can be very overwhelming. The moon is also quincus Uranus. Uranus is the planet of awakening and has that power to awaken us in a very big way. We're awakening to maybe how we haven't moved forward for ourselves, how we haven't activated our own energy and advocated for ourselves the way that we want to. That can make us feel rather depressed. It can make us feel like, oh my gosh, I can't move forward now because I didn't do it right in the past. And Spirit's like, the past is done. Aries is all about being in the present. We're going to find that to be very hard. And that's one of the things we have to face. We have to face the negative energy that we're carrying with us from the past. Yeah, we've all failed. Yeah, we've all messed up. We're not special, Gemini. We tend to think as individuals, as human beings, not just as Geminis or Libras or Tauruses or whatever, but we tend to think as humans that when we mess up, it's so much grander, it's so much bigger, it's so much better than anybody else has ever messed up. That's not the case. Okay? Here, we have to be kind to ourselves. We have to live in the present. We have to see what we desire. And we have to stop overwhelming ourselves, because we are going to overwhelm ourselves in the clear Gemini way of, I'm so curious I have to learn this. I'm so curious I want to do this. I'm so curious I want to do that. And then we don't do any of it because we have a to-do list that is now just overwhelming. So be kind to yourself. It moves us to the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is things needing to be balanced. Okay, you're going to find a balance within your life. This is the minor arcana Libra energy coming forward. And it's like, balance. Harmonize. We can feel at times like everybody's taking our energy, and we can feel at other times like, I don't even think we feel like everybody's giving to us too much, but it's almost like everybody's smothering us in a way that we don't want to be smothered. It's like, no, I don't want my wings clipped. I'm a Gemini. I need to explore. I need to be, it's like a butterfly, right? A Gemini needs to be a butterfly. A butterfly can't be held. If the powder goes off a butterfly's wings, that butterfly can't fly. That's what we need. We need to be able to fly and expand and be curious and discover. We need things to be in balance. We're going to find that we're looking at things financially to be in balance. We're going to be looking at things that were out of balance. We're going to be looking at our own energy that was out of balance, especially around money during this time. It's going to be a huge thing for us here, Gemini, that we're looking at financial energy that was out of balance, that was out of harmony with ourselves. And, we weren't utilizing our gifts. We could be starting something new. And that something new is going to open up a path. Yeah, okay, there we go. There it is with the Two of Swords, where it's like, oh, I didn't expect that. Like, I didn't expect that avenue forward. I didn't expect that opportunity to come. Like, I didn't expect this type of thing. There are two ways that we always saw things. It's going to be very black and white, right? You can have black print, you can have white page, and that's the way it's supposed to be done. And then it's like all of a sudden tie-dye paper and multicolored ink. It might not be the easiest thing to read in the world, but it definitely grabs your attention. You're going to be looking at things in a different way. And it might not always be the most practical way forward, but there is going to be this sense of, oh, but it can be like this. Oh, but the door is opening like that. There is a sense of getting out of our own way. Again, our preconceived notions, our way of this is the way it has to be, this is the way it has to be type of thing has been holding us back. Even a sense of like wanting to be different and going against the grain, but them saying, oh, but this is the way it has to be if you're going against the grain. It's like, okay, you know what? This is the way it has to be for me. This is the way it has to be for me as Gemini to move myself forward, to get to where I want to be. We can even be finding a way to harmonize. And for a lot of us Geminis, we are. Harmonize the two sides of us. Harmonize that side that wants to be the adventurer and harmonize the side that wants to be the healer and the stable and the secure, and find a way to make them work for us. Find a way to have us move forward where we feel seen for like the first time in our lives. And it brings us then to the Three of Pentacles. We cannot do everything by ourselves. Do we desperately want to do everything by ourselves? Yeah, kind of like, we want to be that mountain. We want to be that island type of thing, but we can't. We're going to need to utilize the help of the three. Three is going to be a very sacred number to us, a very important number to us. I don't know if you have in your life, kind of the maiden, mother, crone. So like child, maiden, like not maiden, but the mother, like somebody, yeah, like mother figure, and then like a grandmother figure. That's how I can best describe it. Like a little child, a mother figure, a grandmother figure. Those people in those age groups, you're going to find that there's a sense of utilization around that. I don't know exactly why, but somebody does need to hear that. They're going to be like your team. But there's also a sense here of somebody coming to something that's new to it, like somebody who's coming like a child almost, somebody who has done it for a while and is teaching, and somebody who oversees it all, like, who is the grandmother who says like, oh no, that's the way you do it, or oh no, that's the way you do it, who looks at everything and takes it all in. That energy is going to be really, really, really important for you, Gemini. That sense of the utilization of the three faces of the goddess kind of thing, the three faces of humanity type of way of looking at it. So that's going to be very important. There's also a sense of you do not want people taking credit for your own hard work. There is a sense of somebody guiding, but you are ultimately creating. So don't let somebody say, oh, well, I did this. And you're going to be like, what? I put in so much of the work. Like, what are you talking about? So just be aware of this during this time. Let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, I love that. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Can you see that? Okay. Let's dive deeper. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay. And show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, okay. So very interesting. So we do, again, have kind of a rejection of the Aries energy coming in with the full moon here in Aries. Now, we have the full moon in Libra, which is the moon that we have, and there's very much an acceptance of it. So be mindful. Gemini, you're going to be much more drawn to the Libra aspect of this moon, the healing, the balance, the harmony of it, than you are going to be to the new starts, new beginnings, action, going after it, live in the present type of thing. That's going to be more challenging for you during this time. Here, we also have a rejection of power coming into play, which I know nobody likes to hear, but the full moon brings power. It brings the queen of the moon type of energy coming forward. So we have to just be very mindful that during this full moon, as we find ourselves coming into balance, coming into harmony with us, we can reject our own power. Why? I don't know. I don't know why. It's just not going to be something we feel entirely comfortable with, which is interesting because we have here, we have the three of cups, then we have pleasure, and then we have the answers you need are coming. So we have the sense of when we're in a group, when we're coming together with other people, we feel pleasure in embracing our power, embracing ourselves, and the answers we need are coming. We can feel this with the full moon in Gemini coming forward, but we very much doubt that we can do this on our own. So just be aware of this. We see ourselves more as a part of a group, like a part of a hive, almost like a bee hive type of thing. So just be aware of this. We have the Emperor reversed, right? And that's the Aries energy. Then we have fear reversed, which is fantastic. We're releasing fear, but prosperity lying ahead. We're kind of doubting that. We're thinking, can I be prosperous? We're releasing a lot of fear. We're releasing a lot of doubt. But then we're even starting to question what prosperity is. We can get very philosophical during this time and then kind of come to the conclusion, like, I don't need the answers. I just need the adventure. And that's when the Aries energy is going to be something that we accept. But there's going to be a sense of, I need to release any sort of thinking that I have control over anything. And then when I release that, and I just fall into the harmony and the balance of it, because we have the Six of Pentacles, which again, my minor arcana Libra card. And then we have change. We're very much fighting change. We're like, okay, it's coming, but I don't necessarily like it. And our fiery climax approaches, that sense of an explosion is coming. And we don't know if that explosion is temper. We don't know if that explosion is creativity. But I'm just seeing here, it's kind of like it's better to be avoided. It's better to be avoided. It's almost like it's better never to try than to fail. And that's just not true, Gemini. But that's kind of the point where we're at right now. It's better to just try, give it a shot. But we're going to think, no, it's better just to leave it and never fail. To have the ideas be in our mind, because in our mind, Gemini, we're ruled by Mercury. Our mind is just amazing. Our imagination, our creativity, our ability to speak it. But then there's the doing it. that it's terrifying to us. It moves us to nourishment. On the path that we're seeing, we're not nourishing either side of us. And then it says, bring love into the situation. And we're going to think, well, what does love have to do with it? And, I love that song by Tina Turner because there was such a battle with her. She believed love had everything to do with it. And yet that song made her a hit. And you could see that battle with her when she's singing it. And so we know that love is everything. We know that as an air sign, we need to embrace our hearts. But we're having a hard time nourishing our heart because how is that going to help us in the duality of ourselves? How is that going to lead us down the road that we want? So we have to stop thinking about it. And, telling a Gemini not to think is like telling us not to breathe. It's very, very hard. But there's almost a sense here of I just have to see what happens. I just have to let myself enjoy things. And then we have that surrender. Yeah, that surrender. When we come to the Three of Pentacles, when we come to that balance of energy, when we come to that balance of creation and determination and focus, we surrender. And a win-win outcome is forecast. Things start to fall into alignment, fall into balance when we surrender to the power of the moon, when we surrender to the power of our creativity, when we surrender to the power of our duality and we stop apologizing for it. And we stop trying to make ourselves work a certain way, fit a certain mold, be a certain thing that we're just not going to be, Gemini. It's okay not to fit the 9-to-5 mold. It is okay not to be a part of the box, It is okay. Our subconscious message to be aware of is the world, which is very funny. You have the same subconscious message. Well, not the same. You have the same message to be aware of. This was consciously by Taurus. So check that out. If you are born on the cusp with Taurus or you have Taurus in your ascendant or your moon, check out that reading because you're going to try and take on the world. You're going to try and say, everything's my problem. I have to fix everything. I have to be in the center of everything. There's just a sense of I'm to tell the world that I arrived. And the world is I already know. And it doesn't have to be a grand thing. It could be a very quiet thing. And it could be a very beautiful thing. So be mindful that we can think it has to be bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't. Our subconscious message from spirit here is spontaneous. We need to be spontaneous. We just need to. We need to realize there's almost this awakening of I can do that. And I don't know if it was from lockdown or what it was that made us think, oh, I can't be spontaneous or I can't do that or I can't go there or I can't. And now it's oh, but I can. And it's do it. Do it, do it, do it. Go and have fun. Be spontaneous. Let yourself be free. You might have a lot of responsibilities and say, Dane, it's not that easy. Believe me, I get it. Believe me. But there's also a sense here that you need that spontaneousness just for the joyful inner child within you, just for that joyful child energy of Gemini. It's a young sign. We're the third in the zodiac. It's a young sign. We need that spontaneity. We do. It moves us to our subconscious tarot message, and this is the seven of Wands reversed. We're stopping the fighting. And we can have people around us who are angry at this or angry at that and want to fight this and want to fight that. Let them do it. But you're done. You're done, Gemini. Subconsciously, you're I don't want any more fighting. I don't want any more arguing. I don't want any more nonsense. I'm not going to be following these things, whether it be in the media or not in the media, that get me angry, that take away my bliss. Here it's I'm done fighting. I'm done wasting that energy on always being on the defensive. It moves us to our subconscious Luna message, and it says, you and your loved ones are safe. So there's a sense here of I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure if I'm safe. I'm not sure if I'm not safe. My loved ones are safe. There's a sense of I want to make sure everything's perfect. You're not going to be able to. Release that sense of, I want to wrap everybody in safety wrap and keep everybody safe. And let everybody be. Let them explore. Because you're going to see, Gemini, that your mind can get away with you. Because you have such a beautiful imagination, a vivid imagination, that when you want to keep everything safe and you think of, well, what happens if they're not safe? That can become terrifying. So don't let yourself go there. And then we have resistance. We have tried to change a part of us, a vital, beautiful part of us, that either we thought it didn't fit into the world, or we thought, and this is a positive thing. This isn't something that's negative, that if people knew about it, they'd be horrified. The resistance is, I tried to squash down my spirit or my creativity or my spontaneity or my, questioning or my seeking, my childlike wonder at the world. or the world tried to crush it, and they just couldn't. And now there is a power within us that is coming forward, because we're finding we're a heck of a lot more resilient than the resistance thought we were. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. God bless. Bye.